right, my new fuel sensor or fuel sender came, as well as my XT90s. So we're gonna do some stuff with these here today and try and get some more things installed. All right, so now I slide the wires through here and then I solder them here and then that snaps into there. Now we'll let that cool, then we'll snap it together, check it out. All right, so with that, I'll be able to seal that up, close that, make it removable, so I can put stuff in and out. I can do the battery. Once I do the battery, I can get the steering part in there, and then we'll be on to the gas tank. However, like I said, I don't want this to be this color, so we're gonna go ahead and start changing some of that. Additional stuff to make the steering wheel extension, but I'm not too concerned about that quite yet. Let's get this stuff in there so we can get the rest of this engine bay together. We'll probably cut these down at some point. Let that sit, let that dry. Oh. So these XT60, XT90 plugs, this one's the XT90. It's the same as an XT60, except it's larger. In case you don't know, the XT60 versus the XT90, that number is the rating of amps at which they can handle. So if you ever need to know, oh, will this work? Easy to figure that out, isn't it? So now you see it's removable, so I can remove or replace my gauge cluster, and that'll be the power for it, essentially. All right, and then the steering will be ready here as soon as that paint's good. We shall address our fuel tank. I need to change it out for a 2-wire. Now the other part I'm gonna have to do is, rather than just change it out, ooh, is this gonna be deep enough? Yeah, not by much though. But anyways, yeah, okay. So now what I need to do is I need to get their endpoints to line up in depth, and then their width as well, so it doesn't interfere inside the tank. So this one is made for like something with a GY6 scooter. This one's made for like an 80s Kawasaki or something. So they're not made for the same thing. However, I'm sure we can use them for that purpose. So here we go. So now, like I said, I need them to hit the same points. So they go about the same distance, although this one's a little lower. So I just need to probably just get a little bend in here. Top, bottom, top, bottom. Perfect. There we go. That is firmly mounted. Now that it's bolted in there, did shift a little. No more interference, right? Boom, perfect. Wow, that actually does fit better than this one did. So that's a plus. All right, now I want to make sure that this is going to be pinned right. So this one is a ground, one is your signal. So your ground goes to the lid, obviously, right here. You see that? And that is the black one. So since our black wire is our ground, that goes to this pin. We need to make sure that it's proper on here then as well. So let's see which one that goes to that side. So black and green. Which one's the signal? Which one's the ground? I'd imagine I tried to keep it like everything else where the green is the ground. I guess we can try and make our extension. I know you're asking, why did I go through all the trouble to level it if I'm going to bevel most of it off? And that's really just, I still want it to be even. The more you do to get it even, the better and more even it will be. Get that cleaned off of it so it don't get all wonky. That's the side we're going to weld. All right, so got it welded up. I'm gonna let it cool, then I can try and pull the bolts. In the meantime, guess what? All right, now that that's there, now let's put our fuel tank on. So now before I really do much of anything, I want to get these all started. All right, now the fuel tank in. Now, I believe we're pinned right, so let's get it plugged in. Oh man, that wiring is even the perfect length. We're just about done inside here. Wow, we're getting somewhere, guys. This feels good. So good. Ow! Whew. There's my skin. Ow. This will help keep that in place. All right, so before I put that back on, I want to cut these down. They don't need to be nearly this long. So let's get them trimmed. That doesn't look cool up high like that. I mean, I may have to shorten it down anyway. That doesn't look cool, does it, all high like that? Let's see if it's comfortable. Oh, it is comfortable though. I think it's gonna stay. Oh yeah, that's real comfortable. However, starting it might be hard. Starting it might be real hard with it like this. Not sure. I guess we'll find out. I mean, yeah, I can tell it already is. I wonder if I'll probably have to push the clutch. I don't know if you have to push the clutch to start it or if it'll start with the clutch not pushed in. As long as it's in neutral, it beats me. There we go. Wow. We can just use it as a seat and start it. I might be able to do it this way. We'll see when it's all done. When it's all done and ready, then we'll really see. However, wait on that paint to dry. What else do I got to do? I still got to do a thing for the... What's it called? I can't even think of what it's called now. Choke. Still gotta do a thing for the choke. And then addition to that, I've still got front brakes to put on there. So I've got these that came with it. Can we get this in here? So I've got those to connect to. So we'll figure a thing out. Right now they're just chilling. Not connected to anything. But like I said, we're going to have to get those connected as well and run up. I kind of almost forgot about them, but almost didn't care a little bit too. I'm far enough I could test the electronics, but I'm not going to do that today. Alright, so as you had seen, I had done some stuff and things, and some critical parts have come. So, I know I told you, but I don't remember if I edited it out or didn't edit it out. Beats me. But I drained the oil. Here's the oil plug. Not putting that back in. Not doing it. Not doing it. Reason being, it's simple. It's just a bolt, whatever. No big problem there. However, I have other things. So if you look, it's a M12 by 1.5. So 12 millimeters, 1.5 thread pitch. And as you can probably already see, I have this here. Easy oil drain valve. So based on my level of excitement and past enjoyment for adventure, I've decided that those oil changes for this will probably come very rapidly, as they should be from the instructions on the motor or something like that. They should be like crap, I don't even remember, like every so many hours or something. So like I'm hoping like that turns out to be almost daily, honestly, but probably not. However, we're gonna go ahead and do this because it's gonna make oil changes super easy, make it a breeze, go super fast, and that's just lovely. So I don't want this to be rubbing on the back of my car here, so I do need it up though, so we're gonna do that. Let's see here. So now we're gonna be able to put some oil in this thing, and we're gonna get it topped up, so that way whenever I get there, it'll be ready for the next step. Now, per instructions, this and that has a 20 foot-pounds torque value. Let's see, do I even have... I don't even have a socket big enough for this guy. How is that a thing? Oh, geez. I hope it fits. Well, I have one that's big enough, but it's too big. So, 20 foot-pounds. It's not much. We can do it with a ratchet. Let's see if this gets big enough. We can do it with this. I have a very accurate way to do this. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're just going to go in there. We're going to put a good bit. Nothing crazy. So let's pull this out. So I kind of screwed it in there best I could just to plug that hole, and it's plugged. Now it's not plugged. Now we need to put this on there, and I'm seeing that this thing's really big and we have that lip right there. Is it going to clear? It looks like it might. So I actually got this as an extension because I didn't think this would clear, and it doesn't look like it would. However, I also didn't realize that this extension was going to be too big. So either way, A109 is the part number. So as you can see in here, I'm just slowly turning it in there, getting this in. Now all this piece is, like I said, is an extension. This part is just through and through. It has a nice little rubber O-ring in the top, and it has a little spot for that O-ring to go in it. We'll see if that O-ring even contacts this little tiny opening. I don't even think the O-ring does, honestly. Doesn't look like it. I don't think so. But that being said, the original bolt didn't either. Didn't have an O-ring at all. So this can't be that bad, right? Dang, how am I gonna get in here? You're not gonna see what I'm doing from my head anyway, not in here, so let's try that. Maybe you'll see something. All right, now we're trying to hit our 20 foot-pounds. We're almost there. That must be it. My wrench doesn't want to go more. So we're gonna go with that's it. And now we're gonna put this valve on here. So if you look at it, it also has this little nipple. Otherwise, this is the valve itself. Here's the nipple. This nipple is made for, I believe it's a 3/8 hose. So you can put a 3/8 hose on it. You can just slide it on, slide it off. You could put one on it and essentially leave it there if you want. But that way you could put a hose on it to drain it literally straight into a bucket or can or anything. I'm gonna put it on here. I may add that at some point in the future. Let's hope this doesn't interfere now with the air tank. Oh yes, perfect. Oh yes, that's couldn't be a better positioning, honestly. And now we want to tighten our wrench down on the body of this. So the part number for this valve is EZ109. EZ109. So, whew. Now we're going to also tighten the nipple. Nipple, guys. We want to make sure that that's tight as well so it doesn't come off. Right now it's kind of just like an extra guide for me, I guess. Just to keep it away from that valve itself. So when you're turning the valve with your hands, you don't get burned by hot oil or get oil on yourself. But eventually, I plan to probably maybe put a hose on it or even just leave it. I really don't know. But now, see, now I can just boop. So now the valve is closed, so oil shouldn't come out. Whenever you want to change your oil, you just have to push this up and then turn it. Now it's open, so it should drain. Now, I like that because now it can't just open on its own. It has a spring loaded. You have to literally pull it out of a groove and push it down. When you put it up, you don't have to do that because you're just pushing it up and then it clicks into that groove. So it should stay closed when it's supposed to be closed. And then as you see, like I said, this adds a good bit of length to it. Since this is here and has all this stuff, it's well protected. It may not be on your quads or whatever. If you're doing that, it might not be well protected, and then it might not be a good idea to put it on. However, in this circumstance, this particular situation, the way I've designed this, turns out it's going to be a great option. Now, we got to get some oil in here. Actually works very well. All right, so that will probably be good for the motor. Let's find out. Yep, we're about 3/4 of the way up. I'm calling that good. All right, now let's see if it's messy this time. Not a drop yet. Oh, there we go. We got some. Now I am happy. We've got oil through there. We know the oil pump is working. We know we've got oil up to that point. Now let's keep pumping it. Let's get it up, pump it a few more to make sure that it goes all the way up, back on the other side of the head, and back around. All right, I'm gonna assume it's up there. And now what I wanna do is I wanna check the oil again. That was a lot of pumping, right? Oil level has probably gone down now that it's in all those areas. And I wanna make sure that there's enough. If there's any air, obviously, in those lines, it's been replaced with oil now. So let's see where we're at. This should essentially simulate like running. Yep, see, and it dropped a bit again. Now we're down to like just above the line. So I don't know exactly where on there it's supposed to be, but typically based on cars and everything, it should be like midway or so. So let's put some more back in here now. Boom, halfway. So I think we're good. Think. So let's see how much oil it took. Just below 3 quarts now. Well, just below 3 liters. So this will be 3.75. So it's probably about a liter of oil that it took. So I don't know if that's right or not. We'll find out. Not today though, not today. Whenever we fire this thing up for its first test run, we'll run it, let it idle for a little bit so it warms up at operating temperature. And then we'll cool it down. We'll let it sit. We'll let it cool down. We'll check the oil. We'll see where we're at. And that way we can start getting some heat cycles through it. Not today though, not today. That's it for today though. So we got it topped off on oil. We filled our radiator with oil, so that way it should be ready when we fire it up. It should be pumped through those lines and ready to just start feeding that head the first time it fires up. Nice. And now we wish to have a lid for this. Too big. Well, screw it, this will work. Boop. Just to keep solids out. That's really all we want to do. So this will be good and ready for the next time we need oil. We got the 15W40. Just because from everything I read, everyone seemed to say that was a good oil weight for it. I believe that's what the instructions might have said too. I don't know, but that's what I went with. So, see you next time.